Hello there, this is Steve here in Sydney at the True Blue Healer website of GNOSIS, truebluehealer.com that is. I'm here to just do a little commentary on something wonderful, a very sort of exciting scientific concept called the electric universe, which postulates that everything moving through space accumulates electric charges, and the movement of many heavenly bodies is influenced by electric charges. And there's much evidence to support this. What's very appealing about this electric universe theory is that it's very iconoclastic. It knocks over Einstein, discredits him, as well as Newton. It takes a lot of, makes serious inroads into the Big Bang Theory, in fact demolishes it. Relativity is just cast aside, and a lot of things get a lot simpler. That's the wonderful thing about this electric universe. For example, it explains why there's a little stub poking up in the middle of moon craters. It's caused by an electric discharge just before a meteorite hits the cratered surface of the moon, and the meteorite explodes on contact with a massive electrical discharge. The same thing is obvious on Martian craters and also on Earth craters, such as the one at Winslow, Arizona. Now, the whole thing goes back 100 years to filaments of current found flowing through space. They are called Birkeland currents, after the scientific discoverer of those phenomena. They're now being confirmed and described by NASA in anything but that word. They're just being talked about recently in 24th December releases 2009. Worth looking up. The most fascinating part of the electric universe theory is that it attaches and it explains, it goes back to ancient histories, where we have all these monumental sort of things in our histories that seemingly never existed on the earth, but were described and drawn by people on rock paintings all around the world. In prehistoric times this is. And things such as dragons and faces with glowing heads and wheels with glowing spokes and the like. The electric universe theory is stating that the planets moving around the Earth in prehistoric times were not in the same places and did have massive plasma discharges around them, massive electrical effects. And the wonderful thing is that just in the last 20-30 years, these plasma patterns have been replicated in laboratories in huge glass jars. So there's something here showing us that we are terribly naive and arrogant in our modern times, thinking that prehistoric people were silly and superstitious and made up all these stories about gods in the sky. But it turns out, with far superior eyesight, because they didn't look at books and computers, ancient people had very acute eyesight and could see electric discharges going around planets and between planets and the like. Now, if you think that electricity can't flow through space, between planets, between galaxies, etc., it's already happening in your own house. It used to occur in the old radio valves, so-called electron tubes, and currents also flow through a vacuum in your television, the glass screen type television. This explanation of our prehistoric past, where people were drawing pictures of electric discharge patterns on rocks and cave walls and temple walls in prehistoric times, is led by a single man called David Talbott, who is a very well educated, very well versed comparative mythologist. He's been working on this theory for some 33 years, and certainly has an impressive webpage when he talks to people discussing various aspects of it. But he does point out that observed sky phenomena in ancient times have got nothing to do with his other expertise, which is the spark of that inner voice, the so-called divine spark in people that exists in every human. It's got nothing to do with sky phenomena. David Talbott goes to some pains to express this in one of his pages. I'll put a reference at the end of this video. Another upshot of this wonderfully iconoclastic electric universe theory is that it includes you. It's not about things out in the cosmos and millions of years ago and deep down in the sea and pools of mud and all that stuff. It's about living you. You fit in because you are an electrically driven creature. Neurochemistry, neurophysics, biochemistry, action potentials in the nerves and axons going around your body, through your brain, up and down your spine, etc. So you're very much a part of this electric universe, influenced by tides, sunspots, moon radiance, and all sorts of things. So this opens up a lot of things which had previously been dismissed by ancient, or should I say, the modern mythology of Western science. Now, I know all the people looking at the Electric Universe and website videos and reading the books and stuff, terribly exciting stuff. They're really into one thing, they're into truth seeking. And if you keep chasing truth, you tend to learn more and more about yourself. And there is a point where you can suddenly discover that you never really knew yourself at all. And fitting in precisely with the Electric Universe and allowing you to join in as a living part of the Electric Universe is something called GNOSIS. A website now enables, truebluehealer.com, enables a biochemical triggering of a process to take place in your own physiology. You'll get some immediate feedback, physical feedback that is, in just 20 minutes. That's all it takes to trigger the onset of GNOSIS. Within 7 days you'll get some vivid messaging dreams. Within 14 days you'll get some direct physical signals. These are all biochemical, electrical, neurophysical, measurable signals, measurable through the skin medically. Within 3 or 4 months you'll start to hear a mentoring type voice talking to you internally, cheering you on, living your life. This is called a state of gnosis, and it's a half of you that's currently missing. By doing this, you'll realize that you're a lot more plugged into the Electric Universe than you ever thought. The problem with the old style of modern science is that you always tend to be told that you're not really part of everything else. It's always out there and you don't really fit in there. Well, quite the opposite is actually true. And if you're a truth seeker, you'll be interested in learning a whole lot more about yourself. It is a wonderful, joyful sleigh ride through a magic forest to discover that you are a living, breathing part of this electric universe. So just 20 minutes, it's all free at the website truebluehealer.com. Steve here in Sydney, and I'll see you there.